What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Get Rich or Go Broke Shine. I'm your host, Eddie Kang. DC may be joining us at some point, but if he doesn't, I have his picks for you guys. I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. Been at work all day, hit the gym. I sweat, I'm sweaty, I stank, I'm tired. We're gonna give y'all a quick Wimbledon recap, and these picks for these, then we're gonna be out. So Wimbledon, very successful show. 7-1 quarter winners. Both of our outright winners in the men's tournament made the final. DC actually swept the tournament outright winners with his Sinner and Iga pick. Shout out to the steroid users. Only a few of y'all gonna get that. But yeah, Steroids Ran Wimbledon. Iga, complete dominance. She won her final against Amanda Anisimova. Very one-sided. Nothing else to say. Thing I can say is congratulations to Amanda Anisimova as the runner-up. You got $2 million, and you gonna need that for them tears, because I don't think on an average day she loses to Iga in that way. I think it was a combination of Iga just being in complete impeccable form. I mean, her form has just been immaculate last month or so. That, and coming off a very emotional, taxing win against the number one player in the world in Sabs, that you can't take that for granted. I'm sure that took a lot out of her. And when you're not used to playing consecutive big time matches like that, there's always going to be room for letdown after a victory like that. But like I said, all credit to Iga. She showed up, she showed out entire tournament. One of the more dominant tournament runs in Wimbledon, I believe, in a very long time. Over to the men's side, it wasn't as dramatic as the French Open. I think a lot of people were surprised, myself included, at Alcaraz winning the first set. He really turned into God mode. Maybe to his demise, he might have turned God mode on too early. He was down 4-2 in the first set, and he won the next 4 games, including on set point. He hit a shot that was behind him, and completely just threw Sinner off on that one. But Sinner, one thing I'll say about him, outside of him being a dope boy, is he does not, he's the calm in the chaos. When there is so much going on outside of his life in tennis, whether it's to his own fault or just whatever. But there has been chaos going on in his circle, in his management, in his training. Everything to do with off the court has been complete and utter turmoil, and this dude has stayed cool, calm, and collected through all of that. It's really a testament to his to his mental fortitude, because there's a lot of people who would not be able to not only play but excel under those types of circumstances. So even though he's a dope abuser, shout out to him. Like I said, Carlos won the first set 6-4. And then I believe Sinner won the next 3, 6-4, 6-4, 6-3. If you caught him early, you actually caught him as an underdog favorite. I believe he was plus 130 when the lines first opened, but he did close as the favorite at minus 116. A lot of money rushed on him. I'm not gonna say I'm surprised at it, because in all honesty, he should have won the French Open. I'm surprised Carlos wasn't able to really pull the rabbit out of his hat on this one, just because we have seen him do it so many times before. Yes, of course, at some point, the magic's going to run out. And yesterday just happened to be that day for him. I don't think it deters, how we look at him in this rivalry. He still leads the head-to-head at 8-5. We got the U.S. Open next month. I believe he was the defending champ at that last year. Between the two of them, they have won the last 7 majors. Neither one of them are going anywhere. Nobody on the tour is good enough to beat them when they're playing at their best. So as long as Sinner and Alcaraz are not mentally off somewhere, more than likely we're going to see this as the U.S. Open final next year and for many years to come. But outside of that, just going to give you guys a quick recap of our last episode, and we're going to move on and get you these picks, and we're going to get up out of here. So I only had 2 picks last show. First one I had was Alcaraz to beat Taylor Fritz 3-1 at plus 240. That one cashed. It was definitely a hold your breath moment, though, because it almost went to 5 sets. Alcaraz won the first set. I know we told you guys in the last match that if Taylor Fritz was gonna, if this bet was gonna cash, Taylor Fritz would have to win the first set. We both agreed to it, but I did also say I could see Alcaraz winning a tough first set and kind of having like a letdown moment in the second set. And I believe, and that's what happened on this one. Alcaraz won the first set. Taylor Fritz won the second set. Carlos turned it on back on the third set. And in the fourth set, it was back and forth, back and forth. Went to a tiebreak. Alcaraz was up 4-2 in the tiebreaker. It had already gotten the break. Looked like he was finna run away with it. Fritz scores the next 4 points to make it 6-4. And I believe... And then Alcaraz scored the next 4 points after that to win 8-6. So, plus 240, you win $2.50 for every dollar you put down on it. You can't ask for much more on that. Other match I had did not hit. I kind of told you guys I didn't really feel comfortable with this match at all, but I was going to bet something. We took Sinner and Joker over 39.5 sets. I truly believed that, I ain't going to say I truly believed Joker was going to win the match, but I thought he was going to be able to at least wear Sinner down for at least a set, and he wasn't able to do that. Sinner pretty much from the jump just took control of the match, and you could really see Djokovic's age in this match. I think we've seen the last of him being a serious title contender for majors unless Sinner or Alcaraz, something happens to one of them, because it's getting to the point for him with, even if he starts a major tournament healthy, he'll look fine the first couple rounds, but by the time he gets to the semifinals or to the quarterfinals where he has to play Sinner and Alcaraz, he's only going to have like half a tank. He's too old to recuperate that energy, day after day. Whereas Sinner and Alcaraz are both 2021. He might still win a couple tournaments here and there off tour that Sinner and Alcaraz ain't playing in, but I really don't see him. I really don't see him as a major tournament threat at this point until he shows us otherwise. He's 39 years old. Like, it's getting to the point. Me personally, I think he retires at Wimbledon next year. I wouldn't be surprised if he does it at the Australian Open, just for the simple fact that is Wimbledon and the Australian Open are the two tournaments that he has the most history with. Those are the two tournaments he's won most of his majors at. And I believe, if I remember correctly, he's only one win away at the Australian Open for having 100 victories in that tournament. And once he does that, I believe he'll be the first tennis player. I'll have to double check this, but I believe he'll be the first tennis player in men's history to have 100 victories at all 4 majors. So I think he's definitely going to stick around for the Australian Open. I don't think he plays in the U.S. Open next month, unless it's just to pick up the check. I don't really see him doing that. But yeah, 39.5 games didn't hit. I believe it hit like 28 or 29 games. We fell pretty short on that. But even if you played both tickets, you still up money because we hit on the 240. So that's all you can ask for. So 53 and 39 on the year. Still sitting at 58%. I got 4 picks for y'all this go round, but I am going to give you guys DC's picks first. Now, I'm really only going to be able to give you guys 2 because we were supposed to record last night, and 3 of his picks are already either half played or are about to play. By the time you guys see this, you won't be able to play it. So we'll just call it a 2-leg parlay. He has James McAbee, money line minus 270 versus Luis Carlos Alvarez Valdez. That's a hell of a fucking name, by the way. Luis Carlos Alvarez Valdez. But yeah, that's it tomorrow, Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then he also has Rodrigo Pacheco Mendez money line versus Adam Walton at plus 182. Now, both of these are in the Los Cabos tournament down in Mexico. So that's where you'll find those 2 at. For my picks, we're going to, let me make sure I pronounce this right. It's in Switzerland, that's all I know. Gstaad, Switzerland. All 4 of my picks are coming in there. Now, these are going to be early, so unless you guys watch this tonight, you're only going to be able to get 1 pick unless you watch this tonight. First match, taking little brother Cerundolo, Juan Manuel Cerundolo, money line plus 134 versus Jan Struff. That is tomorrow morning at 4:30 a.m. I do not know why Cerundolo is the underdog in this match. Clay is by far his best surface. I know his form has been kind of shaky, but especially for clay players, I never really look at their grass form for clay matches because it's very rare that great clay players are good on grass. Like, unless you're just like a top-notch player like Alcaraz, or somebody like that. Most of the clay specialists are not good on grass, so I never look at their grass record. I don't look at their form in grass. Cerundolo did pretty well in the South American clay tournaments earlier this year. I believe he made a final in one of them. I think he played his brother in a semifinal in one as well. Struff has been kind of up and down. Clay is not really his forte, so I'm going to take the underdog. I'm going to take the plus money with Cerundolo. Going next, we're going to take Arthur Rindenek, plus 108 versus Francesco Pissarro. This is another one I don't understand why the line is what it is. Rindenek just had a really good Wimbledon run. He lost in the round of 32. Francesco Pissarro is a qualifying player. He hasn't really made it out of the qualifying rounds of any tournament in the last couple months. So unless there's an injury that I haven't read on, I really don't understand why A, Rinderkik's an underdog, and B, like, even if there is, I think it should be closer to a minus 110 pick 'em for the two of them. So I'm going to take the plus money on this one. Third match, also at 5:40 Tuesday morning, Martin Landelus versus David Goffin. Martin Landelus is the favorite. Let me pull up the actual odds because I took something else on this one. He's the favorite at minus 137 as the 138th player in the world. David Goffin is the 68th player in the world and is a plus 110 underdog. So I was doing some research on this. David Goffin has been trash since April. Hasn't made it out of the first round of a majors tournament. The last time he actually won a match was in April in a major, or on an ATP court. He's won some qualifiers here and there, but yeah, one thing I've learned, shout out to 5-Star, and other bettors, is the saying, when the line looks funny, it must be money. So with Martin Landelus as a minus 137 favorite, that makes no sense in the world to me, outside of the fact that David Goffin has been trash. This is a match that Goffin should be a favorite in, but when the line looks funny, it must be money. So instead of taking that minus 137 money line, I'm going to take the alternative game spread at minus 2.5 at plus 105. And then my last match is at 11:30 Tuesday morning. Taking good old Stan Wawrinka. Money line minus 142. Old man Wawrinka. He is playing, I never remember this motherfucker's first name, Alexander Shevchenko. Shevchenko really screwed us in Wimbledon. Really cost me a chance at an 80% hit rate in Wimbledon. He's been in terrible form. I believe I'm looking at it now, he is 5-6 in his last 11 matches. It's been a minute since he won on clay court. Wawrinka is a clay court specialist. He's won, I actually did not know this. I knew he won the French Open, but I did not know he was a 3-time major champion. He's won the Australian Open, he's won the US Open, and he's won the French Open. Only thing with him is he's old as shit. So I almost started to take him in straight sets because I think if it goes over 2 sets, he might be in trouble. But I gave you guys 3 plus money bets, so I'm going to go ahead and play it sort of safe with this one. Just take the favorite at minus 137. Get it how you can. He's playing in his home country, so I really like Wawrinka at minus 137 to win. So that's all I got for you guys today. Like I said, we're going to keep it short and sweet. Really didn't even mean to run it this long. I was only trying to keep it like 10 minutes or less. But just a quick recap. DC had James Maccabee at minus 270 versus Luis Carlos Alvarez Valdez at minus 270 tomorrow, Tuesday at 9 p.m. And if you want, you could parlay that with Rodrigo Pacheco Mendez at plus 182 money line versus Adam Walton. Both of those matches are at 9 p.m. tomorrow. And I got Juan Manuel Cerundolo plus 134 versus Johan Struff at Tuesday, 4:30 a.m. I got Arthur Rinderknech plus 108 money line versus Francesco Pissarro, 5:40 a.m. Tuesday. I got Martin Landelus minus 2.5 games plus 105 versus David Goffin, 5:40 on Tuesday. And we got Stan Wawrinka, old man Stan, minus 142 money line versus Alexander Shevchenko. That's at 11:30 a.m. Tuesday. So, I already know a lot of you guys probably ain't going to get this. I'm okay with that. I really just wanted to drop something because we didn't get the drop last night. We're going to be back on Thursday. Tennis season's going to slow down. We got 3 tournaments this week, but a lot of the big name players ain't really playing. But we're going to have something nice for y'all Thursday. So hope you guys get to watch. Hope you guys get the tickets in. As always, get rich or go broke trying, baby.